Good evening. The Sarawak government on Monday presented a proposed budget 2026 of 12.9 billion ringgit with a projected budget surplus of 144 million ringgit. This positive outlook is a result of sound fiscal discipline and the successful execution of the state's revenue generation strategies. Sarawak Premier Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Abdul Rahman Zohari Tun Datuk Abang Openg announced that of the proposed budget, 5.6 billion ringgit has been earmarked for operating expenditure, while 7.3 billion ringgit will be allocated to the Development Fund account.
This appropriation is to top up the brought forward balance in the Development Fund account to finance 2026 development expenditure budgeted at 9.3 billion ringgit. That with the projected revenue of 13.05 billion ringgit and total ordinary expenditure of 12.91 billion ringgit, the 2026 Sarawak budget is expected to generate a surplus of 144 million ringgit. This budget reflects our conscious response to global economic uncertainties, including commodity price fluctuations and geopolitical tension that continue to shape fiscal realities worldwide.
The Premier was speaking while presenting the Supply 2026 Bill 2025 at the 19th Sarawak Legislative Assembly Dun sitting on Monday. Sarawak's total revenue of the year 2025 is projected to reach 12.1 billion ringgit, with collections having already hit 10.3 billion ringgit as of October 2025. Datuk Patinggi Abang Zohari noted that this projection marks a decrease of 2.1 billion ringgit or 15% from Sarawak's original estimate of 14.2 billion ringgit for the current year.
The primary factor contributing to this shortfall is the sustained decline in global crude oil prices, which have hovered at an average rate of USD 69 per barrel throughout the year, and also the effect of Trump administration of tariff policy.
Despite the revised revenue projection, the Sarawak Minister for Finance and New Economy affirmed that the state's financial performance remains strong, underpinned by diverse key revenue sources. He elaborated that the state's sales tax remains the primary contributor, with 3.9 billion ringgit collected, encompassing petroleum products at 2.9 billion ringgit, crude palm oil and palm kernel at 801 million ringgit, aluminium at 64 million ringgit, lottery at 59 million ringgit, timber products at 21 million ringgit, ferroalloys at 20 million ringgit, and polysilicon at 9 million ringgit. In addition, he clarified that Sarawak received 2.2 billion ringgit from cash compensation in lieu of oil and gas rights, 1.1 billion ringgit in dividends, 640 million ringgit in interest and investment returns, and 562 million ringgit in raw water royalties. The Sarawak government is continuing its significant commitment to advancing the education sector and human capital development by allocating 665 million ringgit under the Sarawak Budget 2026. Datuk Patinggi Abang Zohari said that the allocation encompasses a range of strategic initiatives, including free higher education, the strengthening of TVET, technical and vocational education and training, educational assistance, and talent development, all aligned with the needs of the future economy.
The new rates of allowance and medical benefit will involve a total additional financial implication of 8.1 million ringgit per year and will be implemented with effect from 1st January 2026.
The Sarawak Premier added that of the total sum, 250 million ringgit is earmarked for the implementation of the free tertiary education scheme, in addition to 36 million ringgit for the operations of the Yayasan Sarawak International Schools and 13 million ringgit for planning new campuses in Bintulu and Miri. The Sarawak government has announced a review and enhancement of the incentive structure for councillors and village and community leaders KMKK effective 1st January 2026. The Sarawak Premier stated that the special monthly fixed allowance for the 864 councillors serving in 27 local authorities across Sarawak will be increased from 300 to 1,000 ringgit. He added that this will also include an additional medical benefit of 1,000 ringgit per annum introduced for basic treatment at government-recognized private hospitals or clinics.
The new rates of allowance and medical benefit will involve a total additional financial implication of 8.1 million ringgit per year and will be implemented with effect from 1st January 2026.
Meanwhile, the Sarawak Premier also announced that over 7,700 KMKKs, including Temenggung, Pemancar, Penghulu and Ketua Kaum, will receive a monthly remuneration increase of 400 ringgit. This involves an additional allocation of 37 million ringgit per year, also effective 1st January 2026. The Sarawak government has allocated 250 million ringgit under the state's 2026 budget for the implementation of the Free Tertiary Education Scheme, FTES, which is set to benefit Sarawakian students starting next year. The Sarawak Premier stated that the scheme is a transformative initiative aimed at producing a future-ready workforce and ensuring that access to higher education is based on merit and ability without being constrained by financial limitations.
Following extensive consultation with our state-owned universities and Yayasan Sarawak, 64 undergrad degree programs have been identified for inclusion under this scheme. For this purpose, 250 million ringgit will be made available for FTES in 2026.
In addition, he announced that the Sarawak government will allocate 36 million ringgit to launch the operations of the Yayasan Sarawak International Secondary Schools YSIS next year. Furthermore, 13 million ringgit under alternative funding is provided for the initial expansion work of the campus to Bintulu and Miri, complementing the existing campuses in Kuching and Sibu. The Premier added that the Sarawak government is also strengthening early childhood education with an allocation of 22 million ringgit for Sedidik, in addition to 14 million ringgit in annual special grants for registered institutions across Sarawak. A total of 60 million ringgit has been allocated in the proposed Sarawak Budget 2026 to continue providing the Bantuan Khas Kewangan BKK to Sarawakian students pursuing studies at higher education institutions IPTS nationwide next year. Datuk Patinggi Abang Zohari said that the assistance aims to support student welfare and help cover their basic expenses during their studies.
In our effort to promote educational equity and support student well-being, we will continue providing financial assistance to Sarawakian students enrolled in diploma and degree programs at recognized institutions of higher learning across Malaysia. For this purpose, an allocation of 60 million ringgit will be provided next year to help cover essential living expenses such as food and daily necessities.
Datuk Patinggi Abang Zohari added that the free laptop program will also be continued with an allocation of 30.5 million ringgit to supply laptops to first-year diploma and degree students to support digital learning and the preparation of academic assignments. The Sarawak Budget 2026 is a clear manifestation of the political commitment of the Gabungan Party Sarawak GPS government to continue steering the state towards more equitable and high-quality prosperity. The Sarawak Premier stated that every allocation within the budget reflects strategic decision-making, people-centric priorities, and the resolve to ensure Sarawak can compete regionally and globally.
Inilah belanjawan yang disandarkan pada prinsip kebertanggungjawaban dan visi jangka panjang untuk membawa perubahan nyata kepada kehidupan rakyat.
The Premier added that the GPS government has formulated strategic measures to further solidify Sarawak's revenue base with a firm commitment to exploring and diversifying new revenue sources in the coming years. And that's the English edition with me, Melinda Peter. More news can be found in our official portal ukas.sarawak.gov.my and social media platforms including Facebook and YouTube. We conclude tonight's UKAS Bulletin with scenes from the first day of the 19th Sarawak Dun sitting on Monday. #Saluran Informasi Rakyat. Have a good night.